Welcome everybody back to the second episode of the Press Box. This is the Husky edition, and I'm John Sept, Daily Chronicle sports editor. I'm here with NIU reporter John Solly and sports reporter Nick Gertz, who came back without a beard after losing a bet.
That's right.
About last week's game.
No longer Kyle Orton, so.
All right. So, and obviously, Northern Illinois lost 31-27 at Minnesota, but we had the big debut of freshman quarterback Chandler Harnish. He's a redshirt, and tell us a little bit about him.
You know, I don't think anyone expected this out of Chandler Harnish. He was a guy who was competing for the starting quarterback job with senior Dan Nicholson. Nicholson missed 5 or 6 days in the preseason. He's still recovering from off-season shoulder surgery on his throwing arm. And Harnish had about as good a day as you can expect. He threw for over 300 yards, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions, in a place that is a tough place to play. I know Minnesota's not the greatest team, but that's a tough place to play, and he had a very solid debut, I thought.
All right, and I talked to Dan Nicholson after the game, and it's a tough situation because he's a really good guy. You know, really great guy, but, you know, it's just a situation where Jerry Kill said at his press conference that, you know, it's the guy that gave him the best chance to win is Chandler Harnish. And now, Nick, you saw a similar situation when Dan took over the quarterback job. What happened then?
2005, Phil Horvath, the starting quarterback, was having a great year that year. Went down to an injury second time in a row against Central Michigan. Dan Nicholson comes in the second quarter and pretty much threw lights out against Central Michigan, 320 yards in 3 quarters. I kind of saw a similarity with Chandler Harnish replacing the man who took over the starting job, and 326 yards in his first game as a freshman. I mean, you couldn't ask for anything more.
Now, Western Michigan's coming up this week, and that's the MAC opener. It's a really early MAC opener. And just talk a little bit about Western and what they bring to the table.
Well, going back to it being an early MAC opener, Tuesday's news conference with Jerry Kill, we asked him if he liked that, and he came out and said he wasn't really a big fan of having a divisional game that early in the season. So it's something to, I think, keep in mind, or an interesting note from Tuesday's news conference. But looking ahead at Western Michigan, they have a lot of great individual talent on that team. Jamarco Simmons at wide receiver is a guy that Northern Illinois really has to watch out for. He's a guy that can go for a lot of yards very quickly. Quarterback Tim Hiller, he's about as solid as they get. And at cornerback, they've got in London Fryer, who's NFL ready right now, and he's really going to, I think, affect what Northern wants to do on offense.
All right, Minnesota just blitzed Chandler Harnish all day. Is Western going to do the same thing?
I would expect that they pressure Chandler Harnish all day long until he proves that he can do what he did in Minnesota on a consistent basis. He's going to see a lot of one-on-one coverage with 7, 8, 9 guys in his face all the time.
All right, Nick, you lost a beard last week for picking the Huskies. Tell me what you're picking this week.
Well, I'm not going to make a bet this time, but I'm still going to go with NIU with my original prediction when I made it in March. I think NIU is going to pull out a victory against Western Michigan.
How about you?
You know, you can flip a coin on this. I'm going with the same prediction that I did for the Minnesota game. I think Northern Illinois will put up a tough fight, but I think because they're on the road, they'll probably lose a close game again.
All right, and we want to thank everybody for coming back to see the second episode of the Press Box. I'm John Sept, Daily Chronicle sports editor. You got any questions, comments, suggestions, anything, don't be afraid to email us at sports@daily-chronicle.com, and we'll see you next week.